professional level. This is why we're elite.
Okay guys, as we learned yesterday, with just the portal being opened 2 days, there's already over 500 people in the transfer portal, courtesy of our Southeast advisor, Wally Crancer. That is the number. Now that number is definitely higher today. It's going to be higher over the next couple weeks. Probably going to end up seeing over 1,000 players in the transfer portal in this winter period, which is totally different than in years past. Usually this has been a very quiet time. Some people in the portal, but not a lot of action going on. And so it's vitally important, if you are one of those players in the portal, that you pay attention to this, okay? What I'm seeing across social media, obviously a lot of guys going in the portal. But if you are one of those guys, do not just put out a tweet with your phone number saying how many years of eligibility and your metrics and hoping that you're going to start getting contacted by coaches. You got to be proactive, okay? Be proactive. Now, what does that mean? How do you do it? Okay. First off, don't just push that tweet out, like I said, and hope that you start getting contacted. Is that going to work for some of you guys? Yeah, sure. There's going to be coaches looking and seeing guys on social media, and if they need a few spots, they're going to be going after some guys. But as that number continues to rise, it's more and more likely that your tweet about you going in the portal is going to get drowned out by all the other guys that are going in the portal at the same time. And remember, you're competing now against hundreds of other players, and a lot of them at your same position. So how do you stand out? How do you make it to where coaches notice you? You have to be proactive. Please, get emails of coaches. Send it to them. Do coaches open a lot of these emails? No, but you want to be as proactive as possible. Again, send out a lot of emails to coaches. That can help, okay? Email them, but these emails, especially the Division I level, these coaches are getting emails all the time. They're getting emails from other departments in the school, compliance, and then yours goes in there. It may, again, get drowned out by all the other emails they're getting, okay? So this is step one, but unless the school is really looking for guys in the portal, probably going to fall on deaf ears. The best thing to do if you are in the portal is get your coaches from the school that you're transferring from to get you some phone numbers with schools to help you out, okay? Get phone numbers and start texting and calling coaches. Texts, phone calls, voicemails, way more likely to get responded to than an email. So if you don't have other coaches' number, maybe you got recruited by a bunch of other schools in the recruiting process. Hopefully you recorded their phone number. Hopefully you have them in your contacts. Start reaching out to schools and just say, hey, listen, I'm in the transfer portal. I'm looking for a spot. The worst thing they can say is that we're not looking for maybe a guy in your position. We're not looking for any guys right now. But you can start marking off schools that aren't looking, and hopefully you'll run into some that are looking for guys at your position, okay? Again, reach out to your coaches from your previous school or the school you just entered the portal from and say, hey, listen, I'm looking for some help. Are there any coaches' phone numbers that you could forward to me so I can be proactive in this time period? Don't have a lot of time to make a decision. Again, if you need, we've talked about this for the last week or so. Got a lot of videos on YouTube talking about, the difference between going to a D2, D3 versus a JUCO, what rules may apply to you. So take a look at those if you are in the portal, so you know exactly kind of what you're going to be dealing with. But you got to be proactive, guys. The more and more players that get in the portal, the less likely a coach is going to see your tweet and respond to it or shoot you a text or a phone call. You have to be proactive. The longer you're in the portal, the less and less likely it becomes that you're going to get to a school that you want to get to. Okay, it's already going to be really difficult. Again, in this winter period, a lot of the guys that are getting cut, the other schools are kind of doing the same thing. And they're not necessarily looking to bring on a bunch of guys. Remember, this is all because of the NCAA's decision to bring roster sizes down to 34, and you couple that with the portal, now schools know, well, we got to cut guys anyway, so they're cutting guys right now. And then they can pick guys up in the summer when there's a lot more guys in the portal and maybe more attractive players in the portal. So be proactive, guys. Send out emails, send out texts, phone call them. If they don't pick up, leave a voicemail with your contact info and a little bit of information about you as a player, where you're coming from as far as what school are you leaving in the portal, stuff like that. Okay? Do not be the guy that just sits at home now for the rest of the fall and winter and hopes that you get a phone call or something from a school. Okay? That's going to make it much more difficult for you. Be proactive, like I mentioned. Okay. Now, lastly, if you're a guy that's considering getting in the portal, let's say a coach has not seen you or has not told you that you're not going to play this year, you're not going to go in the portal, or you don't have to go in the portal or anything like that. They haven't told you that specifically. But based on the fall and the amount of at-bats you got or the amount of innings you got to throw, you're thinking, I'm getting a feeling that it's not looking great for me right now. I would advise against going in the portal right now. Because one, if they haven't told you that, that's a good sign first off the bat. Doesn't mean they love you, but obviously you're not one of the guys they're telling, hey, you need to go in the portal. Okay? You're in a better situation than those guys are. The second thing is, you never know what can happen in the spring. Early spring, guys get hurt. All of a sudden, maybe you're second or third on the depth chart. Now you move up to second, or now you move up to first, or maybe you move up to being the first guy off the bench if a guy's hurt. Or now you got a chance of making the travel roster in the bullpen because a few arms go down. Don't just get the feeling because all these other guys go in the portal that you have to do it because you feel like, it's not looking great for me. A lot of things can change over the course of January and February before the season starts. And while the season's in play, every team has guys go down. So keep working as hard as you can this fall and winter. If you feel like if you haven't been told you need to go in the portal, but you're feeling like it's not a great situation, work your tail off. You got 3 months, 2 months now to really turn yourself into a totally different player. You go home, work out every day, stay on top of your baseball work, come in ready to go for those early spring inter squads that can sometimes be determining factors in who makes the travel roster, who makes the starting lineup, everything like that. Okay, so do not just go home, sit around, don't do anything. You do that, I can promise you, you're not going to be making the travel roster or playing a bunch. Secondly, it's a lot better time to go in the portal after the spring season. Reason being, now you know, okay, I didn't play at all this spring. You don't know that right now. You don't know what's going to happen. Every year, multiple guys on every team in the country feel like they're not going to get a lot of playing time, and all of a sudden, guy gets hurt, they get thrust in the lineup, they have some success, and now they got 100, 150 at-bats on the year. So make sure you're not just making a rash decision because you're seeing all these other guys in the portal. One, because there's not going to be a lot of schools trying to get a bunch of guys right now in this period. And secondly, let's say the spring you don't get any playing time and you're like, I'm going to go in the portal. Fine. A lot more schools are looking for a lot of guys in the portal over the spring and the summer. Okay? So it's just a lot better time to go in the portal. Even though there will be a lot more players in the portal, schools are looking for more guys at the same time. So I would suggest against, if you haven't been told those things, don't go in the portal just to go in. And obviously, don't go in the portal for fun. What I mean by that is don't just go in the portal because you feel like, okay, everyone else is going in the portal. I don't think I'm in a good situation here. You never know what can happen. Hope this helps, guys. Definitely, if you guys are in the portal, please do this. Be proactive. Again, if you're looking for help in the portal, we help guys at the portal all the time. We've been doing that for the last 2 or 3 years since the portal opened. If you're looking for help, go to our website, EliteSportsAdvising.com. Fill out an eval request on the front page. We'll meet with you. Whoever's regional advisor that, the region you're in, that advisor will meet with you, talk about, what your options could be, where he sees you having a fit in a certain school. And again, being in the portal right now, you may be having to consider a school you may not have considered coming out of high school. But it's about building that track record, getting that playing time, so that you become more attractive in the college baseball recruiting landscape, portal, high school, whatever. Okay, so if you need help, come visit our website, fill out one of those forms, and we'll meet with you and talk about what we can do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Appreciate all the support and all the comments you guys have been making on the recent videos. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll have a stream again today as well. So thank you.